Welcome back, YouTube. It's FitzBro, and this video is going to feature a brand new format for the channel. In this video, I am going to be taking a top 10 Age of Empire 4 player game. In this case, it is Vortix playing as the Mongols and break down his gameplay, a little bit of his build order, so that you can have some insight into what makes this player so good. Now, in this game, he is playing against myself. I was playing as the Delhi Sultanate, and I wanted to see a little bit of how he was able to make so many units and outproduce my army, and learned a lot from it. Please let me know down in the comments what you think about this format, and if you would like to see more videos just like this one. In addition to this, I do have other play-by-play build order guides that I have made on the channel that you can follow along with. I'll leave a link below in the description to the Discord where you can pull up the full build order for yourself. Okay, without further ado, let's get into this game and see what makes Vortix so good. Okay, so here Vortix is starting off as the Mongols, and let's pay attention to what he does right out of the gate, because part of your decision making as the Mongols is where to place this town center. Now you're going to expect to see the Khan activate his speed arrow, which is going to boost the speed of this town center. It does not boost the speed of the villagers. Okay, let's hit play. So there he goes. He is moving his town center right between his gold and the wood. Now, this is the exact same thing that I have advocated for in my Mongol build orders. Always look for gold next to wood that you can gather. This is a great spawn for him, and he barely had to move to get there. So it's really good placement. Bit of a luck, right, as far as just getting that start there. Now, he did, looks like he was originally going to chop wood, but then he decided to go for the sheep once they got there. I think he wanted to go for the sheep all along, and his plan was just to get the villagers out of the way of the town center, because those villagers can end up messing up the build of this town center. Okay, so now he has all of his villagers on food so far. It does say there's a villager on... Okay, it was this villager who walked out to get the... Of course, he sent one villager to make the ovu. So one villager went to make the ovu. Everyone else was on food. New villagers currently going to food. He still has one on wood. So that will be 7 on food, 1 on wood, and he has his scout go right, or rather the Khan go right across the map, and he's just looking for sheep, I can imagine, to bring back to the town center. So nothing too fancy so far, going all to food, doing a little bit of wood. We'll see if he drops any military buildings down here. I played against him in this game, so I could tell you he actually does not put down any buildings here in the first age, and is going to wait until the second age. He's continuing to gather just from this one sheep. He did split on those original sheep. You want to do that, you'll gather food faster. Now, of course, Mongol build orders are going to vary because you don't always spawn with the gold right here. Sometimes you can have to build a gur. He's in a good situation here, doesn't need to build a gur, so this is going to be probably one of the most optimal age up times you're going to get as the Mongols. So now, right now, he has 8 on food. He's had that one ovu builder go to wood, and he has currently 2 new villagers on gold. Let's see what he does with this next villager. 8 on food, 2 on gold, 1 on wood. And there he's splitting to those new sheep as they come in, getting them as close to town center as possible. Doing a really good job of this, in fact. Okay, so he does go ahead and put 3 villagers on gold. So just working towards that age up. Now, as the Mongols, you have 2 age up options. You can either go up with the deer stones, which will increase the speed of all your units, or you can go up with the silver tree, which will give you that trade post boom that we all know is so popular. Okay, so he's got 8 on food, 3 on gold, and just now putting a second villager on wood. Now, I imagine he might have done something a little bit different if he had to build a gur, but in this case, didn't need to. He's doing okay, and is aging up right before the 3-minute mark. And currently, he pulled 2 gold guys off to build the deer stones, which will boost the speed of everything here. And look how close this all is. This is great for him. And look what he's doing in transition. With the exception of the 5 that are currently on food, every other villager is on wood. He even tries to get my scout there. Look at that. And the reason why he is collecting all this wood is he is going to be going for a 2 town center build. Now, I haven't decided quite yet if it is the best option for the Mongols to go for the second town center. Often you can get such a strong trade boom that you don't really need a second town center. but it is definitely a safe option, and you will see it helps him get a really nice boom off here. So 5 on food just to keep that villager production going, and the rest are on wood. And he is trying to save up for that 900 wood it takes to build a town center for the Mongols. Now, their town center doesn't cost any stone because they're not able to gather that stone. Now, he still has this over here collecting gold. So, or I'm sorry, collecting stone. So he's going to have the stone that he's going to use later on to produce ×2 military units. And you will see it becomes very, very handy. Okay, so still just 2 villagers going up with the deer stones. Currently 10 on wood and 5 on food, just using these sheep here that he has at home. He's doing a little bit of scouting. Let's see what he has figured out so far. He knows that I'm going over the Dome of Faith. Not a big surprise. And he knows that I have my my Moscow. So nothing. He hasn't scouted anything useful quite yet. I'm just going around there, putting the eagle up just in case I drop a building. He will be able to see it. So kind of a smart idea there, just in case I do drop a military building. And he almost has that wood he needs to build that second town center. Still continuing to put all new villagers on wood. Let's see if he comes back and scouts what military buildings I had. In this game, after going back and watching this the first time, I decided that I would have done way better if I had scouted what Vortix was doing. So I can't stress enough the importance of scouting this game and learning from my mistakes looking at this game. I wish I had scouted him more. I mean, perhaps I could have seen all this wood. Might not have definitely told me that he was going for town center. But I think I did see the second town center early on. But it's the military buildings that are most important against the Mongols, knowing what they're going to be making. Okay, so now he's up to the next stage. Still got 5 on food. He has a few left on wood. It looks like 6 on wood, and he's taken 10 villagers to build a town center. I'm not sure if this was an exact number or if he just kind of grabbed a bunch of villas, built town center. Now, he had a particularly amazing resource spawn here. Really like his location. Look at this, second town center between 2 berry bushes. It's not typical that these will spawn this close together, but he will essentially have 3 town center coverage of every resource that he needs here. So from my perspective, I was a little annoyed at how nice of a spawn he has, how close all his res is together. But it's just the luck of the draw sometimes with the RNG for these maps. Okay, so now he has his tech and town center up. New villagers looks like rally to wood at the moment. And he is, we're going to see, I think he's going to work towards a military building. He still has all this stone coming in. Now, part of the reason why he can go so greedy here in the opening is you typically don't expect Delhi to be putting on very heavy pressure in the second age. And he kind of went completely in here, just assuming he can boom. Even if I brought something in, I wasn't going to be able to get anything off with it. He does go out and he is dropping a stable at the moment. And I'm trying to capture these sacred sites. Rather, I am capturing these sacred sites. This would be a good time if I had ran my scout through. I could have known he has no military buildings yet. I could have sent my scholars to all of these sacred sites. Typically, I'm trying to protect them. I'm a little more defensive, but I could have even skipped the walls for a little bit. And probably played a little more aggressive, just seeing he currently has no military units. Now, at the same time, Vortix has not scouted what military units I'm going to have at the moment, but he does see these spearmen, knows that I have at least a barracks out on the field. Right now, he's got 16 on food, 11 on wood, so a split between food and wood, and you see he is making a stable, or rather, it looks like he canceled that original stable and switched to archery range. So I can only imagine that he saw my spearmen and changed his mind what building he was going to make, which is really smart. Investing in a bunch of horsemen is going to be bad if I'm making a lot of infantry or a lot of spearmen. So he's going double archery range, and he is producing these archers. Now, since he's been saving up all this stone, he's able to consistently pump 2 at a time archers. So it's he just finished this one. It'll be a total batches of 4 archers at a time. Behind this, throwing down his blacksmith. Currently, the split between food and wood. He's finally put a few on gold, just 3 on gold, because I think he's trying to get some of the blacksmith upgrades. He has not researched any of the upgrades here yet at his GUR. Now, this was a little bit confusing to me because I was over here as the Delhi, I had my scholars garrisoned inside my archery range, and I figured, that basically counts as a ×2 archery range. I had 2 of them, so that's the equivalent of 4 archery ranges. I thought that I would be able to win this fight and just be able to outscale him in units. I figured I could get more units out than him, and I would be able to hold the sacred site, get the sacred site, and be able to be at a good lead. I did scout that he was booming. I saw the second town center, but that's a bug there. But I wasn't too concerned. I said, you know what? I can get these 3 sacred sites and negate any eco advantage that he might have with his town centers. But what I did not account for was him going for the double archery range with all the stone behind that. A lot of times players spend stone on the trade route, but he decided to go for the double town center approach, which allows him to make 2 times villagers. And look at his resources. He's got plenty in the bank. He could have even thrown down a 3rd military building if he had wanted. And this was a bad news for me. If you look at the numbers, he's got a ton of archers out here on the field. And I was confused. I figured, I'm going to make 2 at a time. I'll be fine. But my matches were coming out, technically 2 archers at a time, even though they're faster, while his are coming out 4 at a time, which is really going to hit harder as these reinforcements come. He's also using the he's using the con to use the attack speed arrow, and then he's backing up. This gives all the range units a 50% boost speed for 5 seconds. So this basically is maximizing. Not only does he have more archers than me, he's able to pick off more archers and really bring the pain to my army. He's just now starting to put all new villagers on gold. He's got a split. I'm sure he's just kind of ballparking this between food and wood. He is starting to get, he goes straight for actually siege engineering, which he is then going to use with pure archers to siege down my buildings. He knows the spearmen will not be a threat to my archers. He knows that he has a higher number of archers than me. So he's going to win the fight between the units. And basically, I'm not going to have anything to stop these rams from coming in because he's going to mill them with these archers. I'm not going to be making any more spearmen once I see how many archers he has. Of course, there's no threat of men-at-arms from my army. Now, what I wish I had done a little better here is I wish I had dropped stables behind this. Since he is going pure archers, imagine if I had walked in and scouted this and thrown down 2 stables with monks, or rather the scholars garrison. I could have made a huge mass of horsemen, and it really could have made a huge difference. I think I was foolish thinking I was going to be able to outnumber his archers, not accounting for how much stone he had been banking up. Now, over time, I would have outnumbered these archers, but he's hitting it at just the right time. I'm not going to have enough time to mass up the number of archers I would need to take these fights. And he's still going to be training 2 at a time as this great eco that I am unable to touch, and is just in a really good spot. So, in hindsight, I wish I had scouted and had seen 2 archery ranges. Maybe I even originally scouted that stable. I can't remember exactly because he did end up canceling that. But those 2 archery ranges could have indicated invest in horsemen. I could have made a lot of horsemen instead of trying to fight against these archers with my own archers. Now, part of the reason I did go for archers is Mongols are notorious for their Mangudai spam. And if you go pure horseman spear, you have no way to kill the Mangudai. So I don't think my total investment in the archers was a mistake, but I should have adjusted as I saw that he had was just making the foot archers and was really investing heavily in these. So basically, he's going to wipe me out here with this ram and just the sheer number of archers that he has, severely outnumbering me. So what he did, once again, is opened up, dropped this town center here, right between the gold and the wood, if it's possible. Otherwise, I always choose to put it right next to the wood. He had all of his villagers on sheep, with his 1 builder from the Ovu going to the wood line, and he only went to a 2nd villager on wood after he had 3 villagers on gold and 8 on food. That's going to sum up this game, and a rather short one at that, but I think Vortix played it very well. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I learned a few things about a 2 town center opening myself as the Mongols, and let me know in the description what you thought, or rather in the comments, what you thought about this format, and if you'd like to see more videos just like it. Until next time, check out the guides on the channel and in the Discord. Thank you so much for watching.